I am using a Dollar Tree patriotic cheer color of a flag and one of the Sailboat shore living signs from this year. I wanted to have a back though, and I figured that one of the calendars from Dollar Tree, the cardboard on there, might provide me a nice back. And look at that, it's just the right size. It's not going to be super sturdy, but I think it's going to work. So I'm just going to use the stripe pattern from the flag chair cover to cover the cardboard back. You could always paint this if you didn't want to use a flag cover. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece of this polyester out a little bit bigger than what I need. And it's going to cover it. Now, the chair cover is a little see-through on the white, so you are going to be able to see some of the cardboard behind it. So it's going to give you a kind of a rustic feel. So don't expect it to be bright red and white. And if you wanted that, you would need to paint your cardboard white or use like a white sign behind it or something like that. I thought even about just attaching fabric to the back, but I wanted it to be a little bit sturdier, which is why I am going to use the cardboard. So it did have wrinkles in it from being packaged, so I just went ahead and ironed that out. And then I'm going to cut it down just a little bit here I want it to overlap each edge. And then I'm going to go in and just simply Mod Podge the flag to the cardboard. Just a nice even coat all over so it will stick well. And then that's going to provide the background for the back of our sailboat sign. Now they had these in like octopus, other different things as well. You can kind of do whatever you have, but I thought the sailboat would be fun for the 4th of July. So you have a little bit of wiggle room to play with this. If you get it on there and it's not super straight like I did, you can kind of pick it up and lay it back down and move it around until you get it a little bit straighter, which is what I did. And then I just used a paper towel to kind of make sure it's really good and attached and went in and gave it a quick dry. Then I can go in and trim off the excess fabric. I don't want it to stick out from the side of the signs. This calendar cardboard was just a little bit smaller, so I think it's going to fit inside the frame nicely. Again, it's not super sturdy. I don't use cardboard a lot in my DIYs, but it's kind of something that I had that I didn't really have to cut anything down to size. I'm going to go ahead and remove the hanger from our sailboat sign. And I want to do Coastal Patriotic on this sign, but I want it to be very kind of rustic. So let's stain things. So I'm going to start with Antique Wax by Waverly. And I'm just using one of those stencil daubers from the Dollar Tree to stain that. And I'm just using it and going all over everything. I'm going to go in and make things different colored, but I want everything to have like a stained wood base. So I don't want it to be really dark though. So I'm going over it with a baby wipe to kind of lighten it up a little bit. Let that beautiful wood grain come through on the sailboat. And then we can start kind of differentiating the different things on here. It's kind of hard to see what's what on here, but this is the sail. I am just distressing that with that navy blue acrylic, letting that wood show through a little bit. I don't want it to be too thick. And I'm going to do that on both of my sails. So I'm going to decorate the back sail because it's kind of solid, right? And the other one has all the slots in it. And then I just kind of went over that with the baby wipe, kind of pushing that navy down into it, making it look like a stained blue sail. And I kind of want to do the water more of a blue color. I started with this cloudless color and just going over all of the waves down here with it. It's a very light blue color. Once I got it on there and used my baby wipe to kind of rub it all in, as you can see, it doesn't really look blue at all. It's too light. So I'm going to add a little Key West to this. To give me a little bit more of that ocean blue. It's not a color I'm using a lot today, but I thought it would be pretty for the water. So I'm going to go ahead and stain all that color. Now the boat is in there somewhere, like the boat itself. It's kind of hard to see, and I actually forget about it for a little bit, but we will go back and stain the boat too. And then for the flag, I want it to kind of stand out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do a coat of white to kind of give it a base so I can paint that to make it look kind of like flag stripes. I thought that would be cute. And this is what it looks like so far with the red and white flag background. I think that looks cool with a background in it. So let's go ahead and attach this. I'm going to use hot glue to glue this all down, all four corners. I don't have a lot of room to do it, but I do have a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and hot glue this down, starting at the top. I did have a little bit of trouble getting the hot glue to stick on this, and I don't know if it's because of what the fabric was made out of or if I didn't have this completely dry, but make sure you have it going to attach. You don't want this part falling off. And the sign itself was pretty flat, so I didn't have to work with any bowing or anything like that in the sign itself. Now for the stars for our 4th of July sale, I'm going to use starfish. I get these little tiny starfish on Amazon. I love them. I use them all the time. I have them linked in my Amazon shop, linked below. And I'm going to try to arrange them in a star pattern like you would see an American flag. Trying to get like flat ones that aren't broken. I don't really care if they're different sizes, but I want to alternate them in that great star pattern. So a little bit to figure out the perfect ones, and I think that looks really good like that. Like the American flag, it's like kind of a staggered pattern for the stars, so I thought that'd be cute. And then a little teeny dot of hot glue is all it needs to attach these starfish. That Ryobi hot glue gun, if you guys have one, you know that it shoots out a lot of hot glue guns, so you might want to use a different one. I was struggling to just get a dot here, but just gluing those all down for a fun little another coastal touch to this DIY. I love to use starfish for 4th of July because why not, right? So that's what it's looking like so far. We're going to keep adding to this all kinds of fun details. So we're going to start with a paint pen. I'm going to do some flag stripes here. So I have a red paint pen. I kind of start out with this like more maroon color. I do kind of switch it more to a brighter red because the flag stripes on the back are a little bit more of a brighter red. But I just went over that white distressing with that and did red stripes. We're going to do some white stripes here to try to do a flag pattern. So we have the stars on the sail. We have the stripes on the flag. Just a quick little bit of sanding. I do touch that up a couple times until I am completely happy with it. I know that when you kind of sand the red, it really bleeds a lot into the white, so I was trying to avoid that if I can. I'm going to go ahead and replace the hanger. I'm not going to do beads or anything on mine. You totally can. I'm just going to tie mine off with just a simple hanger. We're going to have so many cute details on this, especially with the starfish added on there, that I don't think it really needs anything extra at the top. And this is a really thin twine, kind of a bigger hole, so I think it works a little bit better just to actually tie it off like that. That's when I realized you couldn't see the boat. So you probably should do this before you attach your background, because now I'm going to have to be careful not to get this on the background. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's supposed to be a boat down here. So I'm going to go in and stain that with some antique wax by Waverly. This is the first time I've DIY'd, I think, one of these signs from the Shore Living line from Dollar Tree. So you can kind of see it. It kind of goes straight across here, and then I think it goes all the way over here to like that looks like another point of a boat. So I'm trying to find it with my paintbrush, right? At first I thought about trying to make the water look wavy, kind of like that. Then I decided to kind of make it smoother because all of like the lines of water are all smooth looking. And so I just went ahead and did a smooth line. It's going to be easier to try to make it look like there is a boat floating in that water. I kind of go over it with a paper towel, distressing it. It is going to have like a little bit of a blue undertone on it, just because I stained it blue first, forgetting that there was a boat there. But that's okay. So I just try to fill in that area that I would logically think is going to be the boat, right? You can see it now. And kind of touch up my blue as well because I kind of blend them all together. I don't want any straight lines. I want everything kind of just gently kind of transitioning to each other, including the frame. So we're just going to touch that up a little bit. And then I also want to do like the mast, but I don't really want to mess with like the sail that I've already done. So I'm going to just kind of stain the bottom here of the pole on the sailboat and at the very top by the flag. Now it looks like there is a boat, and I told you I did update my red color because I thought it was a little dark. You know, sometimes you finish a project and you're like, I think it needed some brighter red. And that's it. We have our patriotic sailboat. I think it looks so cute. As you can see, using that cardboard kind of gave a texture It looks a little bit better today. So keep that in mind. You might just want to use the fabric in the back and skip the cardboard if you don't want that texture on there. But I kind of like it. It kind of looks coastal to me. But I love the starfish on there. I think it's really pretty. It's very subtle 4th of July